the country.
A pleasant evening to you all there, and you're welcome to the news across the country. I am Adeniyi Kehinde. Government State of Osun expresses its readiness to tackle monkeypox headlong. Industrial court orders closure of Owerri division over alleged workers' adoption. Entertainment news today focuses on evolution of gospel music in Islamic and Christianity perspectives. Late night inferno kills 20 in Kano. Governor Adegboyega Oyetola has given all health officers in the state of Osun a marching order not only to sensitize the public about the menace of the new pandemic monkeypox, but also to be equipped for free treatments of the victim. The special advisor on public health, Dr. Shiji Ademeju, dropped this hint while speaking with OSBC News in Osogbo. Dr. Olameju added that people should not hesitate to report any sort of pandemic in their area, as all hands must be on deck to ensure healthy living of the people of the state.
What we are encouraging people to do is to look after their health. Whenever they have these symptoms, let them go to the hospital. Such person, level of hygiene, whenever they are dealing with, of the infected animal co-infect.
A sincere apology for that mix-up there. Nigerian political parties have failed in their civic responsibility of giving pragmatic political education to the electorate, which is a veritable tool for voters to weigh the formidability of the candidate and save the unproductive contestant. A political scientist, Mr. Lekan Ogunyemi, stated this today while exchanging views with OSBC News. He speaks further.
That is that we need political education right from the grassroots, because it's going to make nonsense of our democratic process. The way out is that we need political education.
Mr. Lekan Ogunyemi speaking there. It was a reign of encomiums and jubilation as a retired blind school teacher in Osun received a bond certificate of 8.3 million naira. The benefiting retiree, Mr. Aniobi John, described the gesture as the best thing that has ever happened to him, saying Governor Adegboyega Oyetola of the state has rekindled his dashed hope. He was among the 162 retirees that benefited from the 1.156 billion bond certificates presented to a fresh set of pensioners by the state government. The benefiting retirees were primary school teachers, local government staff, and those in the core civil service, parastatals, and state-owned tertiary institutions. Fielding questions from journalists shortly after he received his bond certificate, Mr. John described the gesture as a great relief to him and members of his family in view of what they had passed through since he retired from active service. The retiree who retired in the year 2016 after he had served the state meritoriously for 35 years, burst into tears of joy for being favorably considered by the present administration. He decried the delay in the payment of his pension, which he said ought to have been paid before the expiration of the previous administration since he retired in 2016. The Western Security Network Agency, Amotekun Corps, has stated that the letter declaring an All-Progressive Congress APC aspirant as winner of a legislative primary election in Osun State did not originate from the agency. In a statement signed by Yusuf Abbas, the spokesperson of Osun Amotekun Corps, the security outfit maintained that the letter is fake and the agency is not connected with it. The statement, which stressed that no party can lay claim to the security outfit as it is non-partisan and belongs to the entire sitting of the state, added that Osun Amotekun Corps is an establishment of the law. It revealed that the publication was part of an orchestrated campaign of calumny aimed at damaging the reputation of Osun Amotekun Corps and to bring it into public infamy, scandal, scorn, and contempt. In the meantime, the Akwa Ibom State Police Command says it has arrested one Godfirst Edet Basi, a suspected serial rapist and notorious armed robber in Imbo local government area of the state. It added that it arrested another suspected notorious armed robber in the Freke Itoro, Efong, who has been terrorizing Ikot Ekpene local government and its environs, and recovered some exhibits from him. In a press release signed by the command's public relations officer SP Odiko Makundo and made available to journalists in Uyo today, the suspects admitted to the crimes and have been charged to court. According to the statement, the rape suspect got first after robbing one Effiong in form of sum of 30,000 naira at a gunpoint, blocked a female victim on the road, dragged her to a primary school and allegedly raped her. The statement added that in another occasion, the suspect blocked another female victim at a gunpoint, dragged her to an unknown house and allegedly raped her also. The said suspect on interrogation admitted to the commission of the crimes and has been charged to court. Meanwhile, the police commissioner, Mr. Andrew Amenoke, who has been promoted to the prestigious rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police AIG, promised not to relent in ridding the state of criminal elements. The president of the National Industrial Court, Justice Benedict Kanyib, has ordered the closure of the Imo State Division of the court following an attack and abduction of 3 staff of the court by suspected official of the state government. This is contained in a statement by the first registrar of the National Industrial Court, Olurotimi Williams Daudu. The decision to close the court, according to him, was predicated by the ambitious adoption of 4 staff of the court who were performing their lawful duty of executing a judgment between Prince Eze Madumere and Governor of Imo State, Zenith Bank PLC, the Attorney General of Imo State, and the Imo State government. A letter to the Inspector General of Police on the incident alleged that the affected staff were waylaid, abducted, and the court's official vehicle snatched at gunpoint to an unknown destination in broad daylight by several men of the government house, reportedly led by one Chineze Nwarieri and some other heavy armed Mopo policemen. Meanwhile, a frantic and immediate search was initiated by the registrar, who later discovered that the 4 men were whisked to an anti-kidnapping unit of the police command and retained unlawfully and without justifiable cause. Palpable tension gripped the resident of Beningwari area of Kaduna State after a group of terrorists today abducted a Kaduna State government aid worker. Information has it that the terrorists are demanding that the police and other security agents vacate the areas. They are also sending threats of violent attack to residents, warning them not to cooperate with the government. Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State last month confirmed the presence of the terrorist group and other criminal elements in Kaduna State. The governor said the rising presence of the group and Boko Haram terrorists in the state and their growing interaction with armed bandits was responsible for the attack on the Abuja-Kaduna bound train on the 20th of March, in which the passengers kidnapped were still in captivity. The group origin is unclear, but it's known that the group emerged as a faction of Boko Haram, an extremist Islamic movement that launched an uprising against the Nigerian government in 2009. This is the news across the country, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation. Iliawi Okebale Oshobo. Now amid this message. Weekend is synonymous with festivity. As you are whining and dining this weekend, make moderation your watchword. Remember, only the living celebrates. OSBC Entertainment News segment today focuses on the evolution of gospel music in Nigeria in both Islamic and Christianity perspective. Suliat Ajao is ready with the rest of the story.
There is clearly a glowing space for Nigerian music in a global music market as the Afrobeats movement takes a world topping charts and gaining international accolades. Nigerian gospel and Islamic music are doing the same, albeit in their own way. Gospel music is a genre of a Christian music. The word gospel means good news. Gospel music spread a message of a Christianity of God. It expresses a message of a good news. Gospel music is a joy and hope. Gospel music has been around for hundreds of years. This genre of music is highly emotional evangelical vocal music that originated among the African American Christians in the South United States and was a strong influence in the development of soul music. Islamic revolution occurred in 1979 in the Muslim majority country of Iran. Islam music was the first to become famous in the Western culture, even it already existed since the Ascent time. But Western culture made it spread out. The value of liturgical, musical, and religious songs are to encourage the participations and build community while giving praise and thanks to the Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and to send a message of hope and joy. Religious institution and predominant spiritual practice continues to be preserved through music. Most musicians have been noticeably shaped and influenced by traditional religious music and themes, both gospel and Islam. As noted by extra above aspects of the religiosity in Nigerian gospel and Islamic music industry is the fact that a good number of those artists are associated with terrible controversy. In an interview with Mr. Tony Yusuf, who says gospel and Islamic musicians are not sung for the soul anymore, rather they sing for the sake of the money.
I grew up in the era of Islamic musicians such as Malahaj Abdul Wahab Falowo, those Islamic singers who sang to preach modesty, who sang to preach discipline, who sang to preach what Islam really stands for, who sang to really inspire the young ones to plan for the future and to become somebody important in the future. But these days, what do we listen to? We listen to ordinary songs, ordinary music in the mood and the making of Islamic things. There is nothing we can actually call Islamic songs in what we listen to today. What we listen to, all those Islamic musicians, either as male, either as females, are merely going into the studio to sing what people actually want to listen to make money. But the likes of the musicians I mentioned earlier on, Wahab Falowo, Akimbode, they sang not because they wanted to make money, but because they wanted to use Quran and Hadith to change society.
Also speaking with Pastor Agunbiade says that gospel musicians are not singing with depth anymore.
The spiritual song then it's not be like this now. Then people listening to the song and the inspiration words, the Holy Spirit moves them. But this time around, they just sing the spiritual song as if they are, singing a song that is not necessary, that does not have any value in the life of people. It can't change anybody.
Today, it has become common that gospel and Islamic musicians are no longer passing divine message, rather they sing for profit sake, and this has vastly affected the purpose of the religious songs or music, which is practically so went so. Songs nowadays contain of immorality and stage acts that downlights immoral. Islam and gospel music is a creation, the beautiful one, that originally made to ease our heart and to make people happy, have faith. Religion does not restrict music or prohibit all music. What religious sets in guideline is that music is pure things and people should keep its purity by not contaminating Islam and gospel music with evilist deed. Soliat Ajao for OSBC Entertainment News.
Governor Adegboyega Oyetola has given all health officers in the state of Osun a marching order not only to sensitize the public about the menace of the new pandemic monkeypox, but also to be equipped for free treatment for would-be victims. The special advisor on public health to the governor, Dr. Shiji Ademeju, stated this while exchanging views with OSBC News. Dr. Olameju added that people should not hesitate to report any sort of pandemic in their area, as all hands must be on deck to ensure that healthy living of the people of the state. He speaks further.
The characteristic of Mr. Governor Gboyega Oyetola is a man of proactiveness. He's a foresightful leader. He has charged us that at the Ministry of Health, most especially the public health arm of the state, that all mayors should be on ground to contain and curtail it, if at all we have it. We are working not to have it, but it is not our discretion to determine whether we will have it or not, because our state is not in isolation. We interact with other states, Lagos, Ogun, where we have discovered these cases, and our people go to Lagos for economic reason. They go to Edo and return. But what matters is the awareness, which the state government has mandated us to do. Awareness of the cause, how can we get it? If we have it, how do we go about, getting treated? That's the major thing. And now we have been on awareness. I want to appreciate our OSBC for being proactive also, and for being on other media houses, for being good partners in progress in containing and curtailing this, any outbreak, not even limited to monkeypox, if it occurs. And we are going on awareness, educating people. How do we get it? And we give them symptoms of monkeypox. And what are the symptoms? Similar to malaria: headache, fever, shivering, chilling, coughing, sneezing. And now, whenever we have any of this, we should go to the nearest healthcare center of the government, because the state government, Mr. Governor, has mandated us to sensitize all our healthcare centers to all those, and the person will be treated accordingly without any charge. The state governor, Mr. Gboyega Oyetola, has made available
Dr. Shiji Olameju speaking there. President Muhammadu Buhari has again departs Abuja to Accra in Ghana to attend an extraordinary summit of the ECOWAS Authority of Head of State and Government on the political situation in Mali and other parts of the sub-region. The summit will hold at the Presidential Palace, Accra, also known as Jubilee House. Femi Adesina, the president's spokesman, confirmed this development in a statement today in Abuja. According to Mr. Adesina, the summit is expected to review progress made by Mali's military junta on the return of the country to democratic rule. The presidential aide added that the head of state will also review the situation in the Republic of Burkina Faso and Guinea. A late-night fire incident has claimed over 20 lives at Sheka, Kano State. The victims, according to report, were said to have been burnt beyond recognition. Similarly, Kano Municipal was also thrown into mourning as a night fire incident killed a 35-year-old mother alongside a 3-year-old baby while they were sleeping. The inferno occurred at Gandu Al-Basa Bala Barudo in Kano Municipal Local Government. The Kano State Fire Service confirmed the incident through its public relations officer, Samilu Abdullahi. Samilu said that the victims were rescued unconscious and handed over to the inspector Shehu Lawan of Kalwali Police Station, adding that the doctors on duty at Murtala Mohammed Specialist Hospital confirmed them dead. They decried the rising cases of fire disaster as over 20 people were burnt beyond recognition in a late night fire at Sheka Kashin Wata. He added that 20 ships and 8 grains silos were also burnt to ashes in Kunchi local government area of Kano State. Residents and artisans of Ilupeju area of Ikiru in Ifeanyi local government area of the state of Osun have called on the authorities of IBEDC Ikiru undertaking office to repair the damaged transformer at Alamisi Market and restore power to the area. Mr. Rashid Yaru and Mrs. Janet Oyetunde made the call while exchanging views with OSBC News. Mr. Yaru and Mrs. Janet stated that the residents and artisans at Lasisi Giwa, Olowe, Alamisi Market area, Kajola and Ilupeju quarters have been in total darkness in the last 2 weeks. The duo stressed that commercial activities in the affected areas have been grounded, noting that people using electricity for their earnings now find it difficult to make an ends meet. The 35th Walimat Quran of Olorolumerue Arabic and Islamic Center Ere holds tomorrow morning. A release by the school principal, Sheikh Abdullahi Olorolumerue, indicates that the program will hold at the school premises Ede. It adds that Governor Adegboyega Oyetola is the father of the day, while Honorable Bamidele Salam is the special guest of honor. According to the release, Alhaji Daoud Durodola will chair the occasion, where Alhaji Kazim Akiyele is the guest of honor. The release implores parents of the graduates to attend the program, as the institute will not tolerate lateness. 3 eminent sons of Osun State, including the pioneer head of service of the state, Chief Inolaji Abuaba, business mogul Chief Tunde Ponle, and Dr. Aina, said the contributions of one of the founding fathers of the state, Dr. Abimbola Adigun, remains pivotal in the archive of Osun State. The trio made a submission in Olupono during the final rites of Dr. Benjamin Adigun. They recalled the fruitful effort made by the late son of Osun towards the actualization of the state called Osun. Oluwatosin Oladokun completes the story.
It will be recalled that when Osun State clocked 30 years of art creation, Governor of the state, Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, honored late Benjamin Abimbola Adigun with an award of excellence toward the state's creation. However, a few weeks ago, one of the founding fathers of the state, Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun, passed away at the age of 87 years. The contribution of one of the foremost sons of the state perhaps informed the presence of people from all walks of life who relocated to Ulukwana country homes of the late father to pay their farewell to one of the founding fathers of the state. Encomiums and tributes like never before took the center stage, while captives of industries, educationalists, and business morgon, while exchanging views with OSBC Next School. Among the eminent Osun indigenes who took their time to identify with the funeral rites were the pioneer head of service, Chief Inolaji Abuaba, a business morgon, Chief Tunde Ponle, and an educationalist, Professor Oluaina. According to the trial, who said Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun started and led the movement of the creation of the state dates back. Chief Inolaji Abuaba explained that late Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun introduced Osun Development Group, a platform where actualization of the state was made possible.
The thing I was delighted about most was that he was living when they gave him the honor they gave us on the 30th anniversary of the creation of Osun State, that Osunmos Award. Dr. Adigun deserved.
Led by Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun, a service which he said led to the creation of the state.
The world has lost a citizen. It makes him very sorry.
In his contribution, Chief Ponle is of the view that Dr. Benjamin Abimbola Adigun was a brilliant man to the fault and an embodiment of impeccable character.
To me and my colleagues,
Pawole Adigun explained that his late father had tenacity and an endless commitment toward the growth and expansion of not only Osun, but any individual who came across him.
in one word,
Thanksgiving service held at St. Peter Anglican Church, Ulukwana, just as the entertainment of guests followed thereafter. Oluwatosin Oladokun, OSBC News.
A sincere apology for some hitches in that report. Coach Jose Pesaero has unveiled a 20-man Super Eagles list for the AFCON 2023 qualifiers against Sierra Leone and Sao Tome and Principe. Adeyemi Aboderi has the details.
Head coach of the Super Eagles, Jose Peseiro, has called on Captain Ahmed Musa, Deputy Captain William Troost Ekong, and 25 other players for this month 2023 African Cup of Nations qualifiers against Sierra Leone and Sao Tome and Principe. The Portuguese tactician has also invited goalkeepers Francis Uzo and Adewale Adeyinka, defenders Ola Aina, Calvin Bassey, Sani Faisal, Shemi Ajayi, and Chidozie Awase, midfielders Joseph Aribo, Alex Iwobi, and Innocent Bonke, and forward Moses Simon, Terry Murphy, Cyril Desas, and Emmanuel Dennis, who were all part of the squad that played Mexico and Ecuador in an international friendlies in the USA. Peseiro has added Leon Balogun, Kenneth Omerua, Ogenekaro Etebo, Frank Onyeka, Victor Osimhen, Samuel Chukwueze, Ademola Lookman, and Sodiq Umar. Nigeria welcomed Sierra Leone to the MKO Abiola National Stadium on June 9 before flying to Marrakesh, Morocco, to play away to Sao Tome and Principe on June 13. Meanwhile, ahead of the outing against Sierra Leone and Sao Tome and Principe, Super Eagles handler Jose Peseiro has hinted that his boys will keep improving in order to bring back confidence to the soccer-loving Nigerians, even as he assured that his words will soar above Sierra Leone and Sao Tome. Speaking while answering questions shortly after the game against Ecuador, Peseiro shared his thought on the encounter in New Jersey and expressed feelings that the team will keep improving. In the meantime, Super Eagles defender Leon Balogun has left Rangers Football Club of Scotland. After 2 years at the club, Balogun has been a huge part of the club over the last 2 seasons before deciding to move on. He made 65 appearances after being signed by coach Steven Gerrard. In order to ensure a age-free finish to the Nigerian Professional Football League 2021-2022 season, the league management company NMC Big Ama has fallen on both Shooting Stars Sport Club of Ibadan and Remo Stars Football Club of Ijebu-Ode after reviewing the match report for the match between 3SC and Remo Stars at the Lake Salami Stadium, Ibadan. The NMC found 3SC to be in breach of the regulations for failure to provide adequate security and fined the club a sum of 3 million naira, while the media officer of the team, Tosin Omojola, and Kit's manager, Kolawole Majolagbe, have been expelled from all NPFL-related activities for a minimum period of 12 months. In another jurisdiction, the NMC fined Remo Stars a sum of 2 million naira for breaching appropriate rules in their home game against Kano Pillars. Manchester United striker Cristiano Ronaldo has insisted that he remains very happy at the club following a difficult 2021-2022 season. The 5-time Ballon d'Or winner snubbed interest from Manchester City to return to Old Trafford and enjoyed a strong campaign at a personal level for the club. He scored 24 goals and set up 3 more in 38 appearances across all competitions, including 18 strikes from 30 outings in the Premier League. Sport Update returns on Monday. My name is Adeyemi Aboderi.
And that was the news across the country, edited by Nathaniel Oyegoke and delivered by Adeni Kende. For more about us, you can visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening. Good evening.